Guys, so this will be brief. As you can tell already, I'm not the happiest. We gave back the profits that we've had, the $400. What made today even worse, and then the message I want to leave you with are literally the two most important things that I want to cover really quickly, and then we'll get out of here. Um, Obviously, we'll go over the trades later this afternoon. Number one, I was up. This was going to be my biggest day that I've had on XFA. I actually had that money already. Took two great trades today. We've had crazy pushes from unemployment. We stayed up pretty high. Fair value gaps, indecision levels, I should say intraday supply and demand levels, all underneath, obviously, this massive push, which I was like, okay, this is probably an afternoon play. First off, I made my money, and this was before noon, I want to say. Maybe around noon. I have to go back and look, but made 200, like I told you, $50 or whatever the case may be. Beautiful, two beautiful trades when we got that pullback before we bounced in what you're seeing now later in the afternoon on ES. Whether this drops around 3:34, who knows? Will it fill inefficiencies? Will it fill fair value gaps? We'll see. That's to be determined. Here's now what I want to leave you with. I am realizing now that, especially being up, and then allowing like a number in my mind of what I want to make because I'd like to take, not what the market's giving me. That's my problem. What I'd like to take is I am capable of, excuse my French, of fucking this up every day. I'm capable of fucking it up. And I'm realizing this more and more. I'm like, it's on me. It's always on me. It's nobody else. It's not the market. I want to blame the market so bad. Oh, this, and that. There were a couple trades, I will say, that once I got in after I had made the money, that I took a couple, lashes on because I was up like whatever, 226 or whatever it was. Then I went and I was only up like 116, and I was like, okay, I don't like that, but I only lost like $100, $110. It's fine. I only took about 8 or 9 tick loss, but it was like kind of like death by 1,000 cuts. There are things that I have built into my plan that we've talked about before. I didn't go below or go over my $1,000 or whatever. The only thing I lost was $250. Now the overall P&L was essentially minus 640 or whatever because I was up positive $400 or whatever, or $500, and then I lost an additional whatever $150, and that, so there's your math. But like, I saw the moves that were clean. I even commented like, excellent trades, good job waiting for it to close. And then I snapped into this mode of like, because I want to make a certain amount of money. And so this is just like, it's a flaw that's got to be cleaned up. It's that simple. I've kind of talked myself down because I jumped in my combine one and smacked that one around a little bit too. Just forcing stuff. Is there a move here? Are we really moving? I back away. I look at a higher time frame after I'm, just going like, what's going on? I keep getting smacked on these 8, 9, 10 tick, deals. And I go in a little bit heavier on my combine one. Right or wrong, I'm doing that so I can pass it, so then I can have 3 more accounts or 2 more accounts that are ready to go. I have one and one that's a one leader account and one follower account, so that'll be 150 funded, completely. So the point is that on the main one, the XFA that we've been talking about, that I was up 400, that I made some money today and then lost it, it's only down 250 technically, right? So that's a trade. Like, literally, I did that in one trade. Like, that's not a hard number for me but I have to talk myself back down because I felt it. You know what I'm saying? I kind of felt the blood boiling, if you will. I kind of felt like, okay, I don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's, it's get back mode. No. There's no get back mode. You get up from your computer, you don't see the setup, whatever. I have to be able to walk away with what was going to be my biggest day today. Positive, in the green. Saw the trades. It bounces, it goes up. Even if I took that second trade and realized, damn, or that third trade, excuse me, after I, got into two, because I stacked, boom, got in another one, it kept knifing down. I got in that, took it from the next demand zone, and it started to bounce, kissed off the demand, and started to push back up now, and started to look to fulfill some fair value gaps. Some of these now I'm starting to play on, because I'm like, all right, well, then we're going to take it to the upside, and I'm getting smacked around. And realizing after some time, we're in a relative high, relative low area. We're just teetering right around here. I'm in a range, consolidation, accumulation, whatever you want to call it. You do not need to be trading in ranges, Julian. And it's like, I had to learn that the hard way today. And I know better. And I was also pissed because I went up and I was making nice money today. Like, I was like, wow, feeling good. This right here, making this video and then being like, fuck, and being down is, as I told you, it's all about like the mental fortitude, like what happens inside of my brain when I take L's. All these, like, it's so easy. I don't know what the fuck the deal is, but it's so easy to like tap into like, do I still have it? And it's like I like watch myself make these inferences within my own brain. And I'm sitting there kind of like almost as this third party, like listening to myself and just realizing what's going on and just trying to be very like self-aware and cognitive of like what's going on. And I'm like, what am I talking about? I know that what I'm doing works, but if I'm in a range day, it's because I look at the overall picture and see that unemployment, it takes off and I don't grab that. And so now I'm trying to like trade from greed. Or there's nothing wrong with having the thought process of, if I was better, if I, had these other plays in my playbook, perhaps I could have, grabbed that momentum at the beginning at 8:30. I don't think that that's very wise per se, at least right now, because I don't think that I have those skills just yet to be able to do that and trade a massive news, catalyst. However, it's not to say that I won't get there eventually. What I am saying is I'm up today. And I let that money fall out of my hands because I wanted to be greedy, because I wanted to, and I know that that's what I tapped into. I'm like, kind of like, okay, back up, now assess it. And that's why I'm here recording this right now. It was kind of like, I just closed my laptop and I'm not happy with today's performance at all, but there's going to be L's. So I can't be a sore loser. I just have to be able to go back to the drawing boards and do what I do best. If Friday is going to be a range day, or it's going to give us, momentum and going to give us nice clean levels, we will play. If it doesn't, we're not going to force the play, because I'm not going to put myself down even more in the hole because I'm trying to prove that I know how to trade. Yeah, you do, but you need to follow your trading plan. And that's what I'm like, oh my gosh, Julian, like, what are you doing, bro? And so, again, we will go over them today. Here now also is when I face my rules, front face, look yourself in the mirror and go, what did you say? If you take 2 losses, what are you supposed to do? Get up and go. Like, get up and leave. 2 losses in a row, no more trading. What are you supposed to do after, 4 or 5 trades total? Get up and go. Now, you guys see me plug it into TradeZella. You guys know that sometimes it'll say 16 trades. That's me just stacking trades. There might have only been 3 moves total or something like that. So I've been pretty good about that. But there's another level that I've got to be able to unlock in my brain and know that, like, I tap into it when I lose. And so now the get back mode is there. I have to be able to either numb that or be able to just go, I'm done trading. So maybe the first loss, you know what I'm saying? And that's, I don't even think that that's a fair chance of me, because I might get right back into the zone. I know that I did it yesterday and I was able to, pretty much make back and then some, because I was like, I'm wrong. And then I flipped, but I saw it. I saw it clearly. And I saw it clearly. And so now this is just a matter of going back, assessing what I did wrong. There was a couple trades that you guys will see that will break down. I actually let it go below. There was a couple levels where it was going below a demand zone, and it wicked up and then started to just kind of like swallow that whole zone up and then go up towards a supply that we've passed. So that was interesting. There's a couple, again, uncharacteristic things because there's news. So I have to always just keep those things in mind and keep that with a grain of salt. That going doesn't mean I can't trade at all during those days, but if it's not giving me a clean setup, just don't get in. So anyways, we will go over a little bit later. And we're going to go ahead and just sign off here. You are uniquely different. God took his time on you. You are one of one. Nobody told you today. Love you so much. Peace. Come on, guys. So we are going to go over the TradeZilla trades right now. The first 2 trades I stacked into both. I ended up making good money. I was a little over $150, almost $200. And I need to walk away from that. I talked about that earlier, so you guys obviously already saw that, and now we're just breaking down the trades. We got a nice rejection off of the top of a supply zone, entered in nicely on 55.62, ended up failing down to 55.60.25, so it took $2.25, or I'm sorry, $1.75, excuse me. But that was just one trade. Then we got into an additional one for another $34. I want to say we got into get into 3 positions there. I believe we did. And then we made another 109. So those were 3 trades that went really well. I was able to stack into those, able to make some nice plays. The next 2 trades were just, again, they were forced. I went on a short. I do know what I was looking for. I do know that a couple of them, as I told you before when we were breaking these down, that it did break below a supply zone and actually fell below a demand. And we peaked through there. And so, of course, I felt that, okay, we can get in this. And, we got wicked and it started to head up. So, these were ones that I had put on the top X and said, I probably just need to either take profits quickly once I feel that momentum and follow through is no longer happening, or be able to just stay on the sideline and really wait for that next candle to be printed and prove to us that, in fact, we are, in the money. Let's do it. So the first trade, like I told you, the first 3 trades, first one was an $84.70 set win, $34.70, $109.70, and then the next one was a $115 loss and 30 cents. I ended up adding into this position. That ended up being, a loss of only, 10 ticks or 2.5 points. So not terrible, but again, I'm taking bigger losses than I'm taking W's. You guys just heard me read off those couple wins, $84, here and there. It's like they're not 3-digit wins, and not that I'm trying to just trade off a P&L strictly, but I'm letting candles close, which is good. So I know that, psychologically, I'm like, all right, well, let me wait. This might reject under here. But again, it's being able to hold on to my winners and let those continue to fall. Today was just a choppy day. That's what I'm going to kind of make everything kind of culminate down to. We're not going to get in it too much. I don't want to, sulk in it too much. I want to move forward. The only loss that we took, or I should say the only thing we're down is 249. So again, that's a trade away. I mean, right here, I just stacked 2 positions and I lost just about that, 115 and 127. So there you go. That right there is me making my money back. So I just need to be able to get in tomorrow as long as the market obviously gives us an opportunity. I took another short. Again, once I'm realizing I'm in a range, there's relative highs, relative lows all over this. And I'm like, okay, now I know that I'm just chasing trades. I've already lost one from stacking. I got an additional one. I'm like, okay, this should fall underneath. And we're just ping-ponging, down and up. That was a 152.80 loss. And I stacked into that position. I lost 3.75, almost 4 points on that for a 190 loss. And then one more for a 127.80 loss. So gave back all the profits that I had. All that money that was sitting over here is now back in the piggy bank over here. And or I say piggy bank, but just sitting over here on a stack. And it was actually, I take that back. There's one more. And this is where, again, guys, these are stack trades. So you got to keep in mind, I'm just reading them off right now, but these are stack positions. Of course, I will go into more depth about this stuff. I don't want to sit and, like I said, sulk in it too much. But ultimately, these are things I need to see. These are things I need to clean up. I just know that there was a lot of stuff that was just kind of fluctuating in between supply and demand levels or, support and resistance, and it was just ranging. So I need to be able to either play that early 8:30 move on news, be able to take those runs to the upside and be kind of more cognitive of those, or stay on the sideline. We had a lot of, buy opportunities. This thing pretty much just went up all day, but you still have to, you still have to be able to, if you don't think it's a clear setup, if it doesn't feel like a clear setup, just stay on the sideline. And that's, ultimately what I'm getting at. So, got beaten up, got banged up a little bit, tomorrow is a new day. It's Friday. I typically, just with experience, don't usually get great setups on Friday. I'm not trying to jinx anything, predetermine anything. I have to just walk into the market and assess it. I also can't I saw something on my Instagram which really kind of, reaffirmed too, what I tried to do today. I saw all the fair value gaps that needed to be filled, but I'm trading what I think is going to happen instead of what is actually happening. So I let reality get away from me a little bit, and the reality ended up being only a negative 249 day. I say only. I gave back the money that I had made. I wish I would have just went ahead and once I lost one and then I had stacked another trade, okay, cool, let's cut it, because I was still up some money. On that first trade, I think now, instead of 400, almost $500 after I made money on those first few trades, I was up like $600, almost 500 and some bucks. I ended up going down to like $300, right? Profit. I should have cut it then. I should have been like, I'm not really seeing it. That's okay. Let's just hold our cash. I got in there, got a little greedy, and you add a range day in there as well, and that's the result that you get. So we're going to just dive into the word. We're going to go, over these trades, obviously. We're going to reflect on them tonight. Ultimately, we have got to just be able to adapt. I'm a bit disappointed in myself that I don't catch any of these buys, that I just wasn't in sync with the market. That's really what it boils down to. And I got to get in sync, especially on days where we run. It was choppy, but we ran. We had some nice range where we could have come in there to really, really capitalize. And so I want to be sure that I do that every opportunity that I get. Okay, Kingdom Come. Let's dive into this. A little later, John's followers approached, asking, why is it that we and the Pharisees rigorously discipline body and spirit by fasting, but your followers don't? Jesus told them, when you're celebrating a wedding, you don't skimp on the cake and wine, you feast. Later you may need to pull in your belt, but not now. No one throws cold water on the friendly bonfire. This is Kingdom Come. He went on, no one cuts a fine silk scarf to patch old work clothes. You want fabrics that match, and you don't put your wine in cracked bottles. That's it. It's a quick one today. Say it with me if you know it. The next one is just a touch. Matthew chapter 9, verses 18 through 26. You are uniquely different. God took his time on you. You are one of one. And we told you today. I love you so much. Peace.